location over on Kings Highway, and I was doing a little bit of promotional work for my concert series.
Gotcha. Now, you're in the studio today. You brought in an acoustic guitar with you. The studio has evolved, you must say. We're over here, on Sanfordville Road. The studio is an absolute state-of-the-art, incredible studio. We are so honored to be in here broadcasting this live show each and every Saturday. And hats off to WTBQ Radio for making this happen. So, let's talk about your music. You have been creating music for 30 years?
Yeah, one way or the other. Good or bad.
I hear you. Know what? You are speaking of a true musician for sure. We have had some ups and downs, haven't we, along the way?
Yes. That's the life of if you want to do, something that is inspiring, and you have to stick with it. And
that's right. Perseverance.
Yes.
All right. So you've been creating music for the past 30 years. You're originally from northern New Jersey?
Yes, originally.
Okay, and you moved to this area particularly? Or?
About 12 years ago, I had a life change, and I wound up in the beautiful, Hudson Valley, and I've been here for about the past more than that, for almost about 10 years now in the Warwick area.
All right, so now let's talk about the meat and potatoes of the show. Let's talk about your music. You've been creating music for 30 years, original music?
Mostly original music, yeah. Of course, we all start out trying to emulate our heroes,
That's right.
And, doing, covers and...
Now, what makes your music a little different or a little special than say, the average musician?
Well, I try to... recently, I've been... really enchanted with the open tuning, and I know a lot of guitarists do this, but...
Can you explain what that is to our listeners?
Yeah, that's it's where you take the guitar and you would tune to an open chord, or you would tune to a different kind of configuration on the guitar to create a certain sound. Most guitars are tuned to A440. I tune to somewhere, I think it's like around a G sharp. And it's combined with a frequency that I think is more pleasing to the ear, to the human ear, in an analog way.
How did you even think of doing something like that? How did that come about? Because you're the first musician I've had in here, and since I've been broadcasting this show, that has brought that up. How did that come about?
Well, it came about through a couple of artists that I came across during the late '90s. Michael Hedges being one of them. He was like a pioneer acoustic guitarist who played, and he almost invented a whole new style of playing, of tapping and alternate tunings. And as far as I'm concerned, he was the master. And then the summer of 2016, I went up to see the Canadian Guitar Festival up near Kingston, Ontario.
Right.
And I saw like Anton Dwelfour, Don Ross, and a guy named Preston Reed, who did a lot of tapping, and it's almost like they're playing rhythm on a guitar. Now, I'm not very good at that, but I was so impressed with that, and I was so inspired with that, I decided that that's the direction that I wanted to go in.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I have heard and seen, guitarists do that, and I've always wondered, how in the world are they doing that? They're playing two different instruments at the same time, which is pretty incredible. So look, why don't we get to some music? You brought in a CD. We got a couple songs on it. You got your acoustic guitar. We're going to hear a couple of live songs. What's the first song we're going to see off of your CD?
The first one is called Tibetan Lullaby, and it's a very meditative piece. And I've had the honor of having a friend of mine join me on piano. His name is Rave Tassar, and he's the piano player for a band called Renaissance.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stephen Conahay. Ladies and gentlemen, we just heard a piece from none other than Mr. Stephen Conahey.